Hey, it might be breaking them all camp and then got one today. Just maybe talk about how nice it was to have a big run early.
It felt great. Was able to get the crowd loud. Had a great block from Corey Robinson. I just seen a video of it. I was like, oh shoot. But yeah, it was great to get that run.
And Quincy, can you maybe just talk about playing near home, what it meant to you, and having a big game in the process?
Yes, sir. Playing here is real special to me. I have a lot of family here. I know that this supposedly is to be like the last game here, so I have to make sure we ended up with a bang. So
Quincy, Sam, Coach Pittman talked about challenging the defensive line this week. What was the week like in practice? And then how good was it to have the performance you guys did have today with all the tackles for loss and sacks?
definitely put more pressure on the quarterback. I feel like as a defense we got after him. We all knew our assignments and the game plan went real well. So I think we did pretty well for today.
What's it like watching? I guess this was kind of your first taste of watching Taylen run around like that. What was it like watching? 150 rushing yards. Does he do anything that surprises you out there?
That hurdle. Was
That was
crazy.
good.
Nah, I was like right in front of him, kind of. I thought he was gonna throw it to me. He just ended up running and hurdled him. Like, that came out of nowhere. So that dude is a dog, man.
You guys had 300 rushing yards, something like that. What can you say about the offensive line's performance today?
Offensive line, they did their thing. This week last week we it's like just like how he said there was a lot of pressure on them. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves with making sure we finish down the field, making sure we block down the field, and yeah, like and it kind of just went into the game. Like that same mindset went into the game.
Like started. I think it was 285 yards the first 14 plays you guys ran, 28 points in the first quarter. What can you speak to the execution, just how prepared you guys were to play a perfect quarter?
Well, we knew our first 8 plays, and we kind of had them memorized. Petrino, he told us, he was like, he's been telling us since camp, or way before camp, that we are an explosive offense. Really, that's what we showed today. We just had to, finally put it on display, and that's what we did.
Sam Pittman saying a week ago, we got to get more out of the front seven. How much did that really, hit home throughout the week for you guys?
I think that was our key focus in the D-line room. To our coach Adams, he held us responsible as grown men to execute the job, and I feel as if the D-line we got after him.
How are you guys? What was the atmosphere like today? What is that feeling? Really been full in this building for a while. How much energy do you feel before the game and at the start?
I was super nervous. I get nervous before every game, but I was just super nervous. Like I come from, Mexico State, where our sellout was 16,000. So, playing in front of all these fans is something that's super cool for me. And like I'm just blessed I'm here and I have this opportunity to be able to play in front of the Hawks.
Amen.
If they never play another game
here? I think so. I think it's a tradition that's been here for years. So if it is, we ended up with a bang, like I said. So I just thank, everybody for coming out and thank everybody for the opportunity.
Yeah. Big touchdown run. Was that the same play call from the Alabama A&M game where you're so close on the one on the outside?
Similar. It's a similar call. It was a similar call.
What was this week's preparation for you after having that film of that first game coming into today?
Emphasizing pass protection. That was the biggest thing. Coach was he was on me about that, out of running back room, honest about that. And also for me personally, that the play where I stumbled last week, that was on my mind the whole week. So making sure that didn't happen again was definitely.
Coach was there saying that, he hammered the entire week the importance of the game to the state. As someone who's from here, did you kind of take it upon yourself to maybe tell some of the teammates that aren't from this area kind of what this game means to the state?
Most definitely. I know, like, just speaking to my other teammates, I've told them, like, big teams like LSU, Alabama, like, big schools like that, they play here. But, just the game that everybody's been wanting for years. So, I thank God I'm a part of this opportunity, and it's in the history. So.
Pittman talked about how, Jalen Raynor was a challenge that he wanted you guys to focus on and try to contain him. How do you guys feel like you're able to handle that and guard him?
I feel like, Coach Tua, again, his scheme and the way he draws up things, we practice things over and over again. And we get different looks from our scout team that gives us edges on what they may do, or, open plays or open busted plays that, might happen through our defense. And the way that those guys work, they fix those things and fix those problems before Saturday gets there.
And then for Mike, obviously it was kind of a similar day where the wide receivers broke out in the last game. This time it's you guys having different rushers score. What was the key to just having you guys perform well, but also different players getting involved as well?
I think that's the beauty of our offense. We don't just have one explosive player, we have a lot. So being able to, I think Coach Petrino, he does a great job being able to get his explosive players the ball. And, that's what we did.
You walk us a little bit just more through you, and I know you said you got the block from Corey, but just the experience in itself of your first rushing touchdown. I know you had the receiving one last week. Just when you kind of got that daylight.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we had the first 8 plays memorized. Coach, he came up to me and he asked me, he was like, "What play you think you're gonna score on?" I was like, "It's gonna be that toss play or really any perimeter play that we have." And like I said, we knew the setup of the defense that they were gonna have, and we guessed right. And I just knew from the beginning, I was like, okay, this is either gonna be 30-yard run or a 50+ yard touchdown. And luckily we had great blocking. Corey, he was jogging a little bit. He ended up hitting the dude, running full speed after he seen I was behind him. And yeah, that's how we got the touchdown.
And then for just both of you, you're heading into SEC play now. Just maybe these first 2 games, biggest things you feel like y'all can take from those and now bring into SEC.
Well, I feel like our first 2 games we didn't play our best.
Mm-hmm.
It's snippets out there, of what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like we haven't played our best yet.
And just piggybacking off him, I think we should take everything just week by week. Again, we got great coaches who prepare us for moments, playing SEC balls. So just to sum up everything, like I said, just take everything week by week, keep our heads down, just keep working.
Guys, good job.
Appreciate it.
Jump the route. Did you see something in film? Walk us through that play.
Yeah, I was playing the out, basically the outbreak bomb, and it felt kind of fake, and it wasn't fake. So you know what I mean. And that was a good play by my D line, forcing the quarterback to get the ball out quick, and yeah, that's really it. So.
Coach Pittman really wanted the protection for Taylen to improve from last week. I know some of the sacks weren't the offensive line's fault, but now looking at the stats, how good does it feel? No sacks. You kept your quarterback upright and clean today.
Feels amazing. I feel like this is the first time we've truly played like a complete game. And so that was really cool. Just to kind of just see our focus throughout the whole game. Just everybody we went up early 28 to whatever it was, but it was like, all right, we're still dialed into the details. And, that's going to make the whole lot of difference once we get to SEC play.
They returned that the kickoff for the touchdown, and then 2 plays later, y'all are in the end zone. I guess just how important was that play in particular to maybe keep the momentum with you guys?
I feel like, props to the whole team, just how we responded and, it didn't phase us. And every drive, our expectation is to score. So we, like Junior said, we just got to continue to be focused and, do our job. So.
There was a lot said this week, just people wondering how y'all were going to start off the game. This is for you, Taylor. Whenever, they win the toss and give the ball y'all first, how important was that drive for y'all to, score on like that?
The emphasis is always, to start fast. That's how we practice, and, practice leads to the game. And, we have our first day plays, and, Coach Petrino has us memorize it. We go through it and, know it like the back of our hand. But, just to see how, we was clicking since the first, snap was, really, really cool to see. So.
A lot of plays in the game. I want to talk about your hurdle. What's going on there? And then for the other 2, what does it do to the whole team when you see your quarterback do that?
I had to redeem myself from Auburn, bro. I had to redeem myself. But, that's what I took from last week, just being more physical in the run game and doing what I have to do to keep the chains moving. And if it's a hurdle, it's a hurdle. If it's put my shoulder down, it's that. If it's juking, just doing whatever I have to do. And want to show my teammates that, not just talk about it, but show it too.
Yeah, and like you said, he want to show his teammates and he show us. He do a good job at showing us, and yeah, I'm just happy for him. I'm happy for him, and he crazy player, man. He's like it's the stuff he do, breakaway, hurling over people, like it's different. It's definitely different. So go Hogs.
Oh,
Kind of this bounce back performance this week for, the front seven. How needed was that?
It was very needed. Kind of started slow last week, and we didn't want to start slow this week. And our front seven, they did a good job. We had all type of guys with sacks and TFLs and things like that. So just flying around to the ball. I think tonight it was a lot of hats around the ball, and that was one of the biggest things Coach T will emphasize. Like, man, everybody just get a lot of hats to the ball. Let's make it scary for whoever got the ball, and we definitely did a good job at running to the ball and just being physical and playing with relentless effort. So I'm happy for our defense and front seven and even the back. Everybody.
Was just in here. He said he wouldn't trade Taylen Green and Bobby Petrino for anybody. What do you think about those two?
They mean everything to me, really. Just the belief and the trust that they have in me. I threw a pick or a couple picks, and Coach Petrino's still calling pass plays, and that means a lot to me. And as a quarterback, he still has faith and trust that I go through my rules and go through my reads. So, like I said, the belief and the trust that they have in me, I don't take that for granted.
Pretty much a perfect first quarter. What do you feel this offense showcased in that first quarter?
Our potential, our versatility. When we're clicking, I believe we're the best offense in the country, and that's what we work towards, and that's what every single day we have the mentality to go out to practice and practice like it too. And Coach Petrino's gonna let us know when we don't meet that standard, and Coach Pitt. So
That connection with Rohan going down the side for 33 yards.
oh, it felt really, really good. I'm not gonna lie, like I threw it and I was just, of course watching, but when he turned the sideline, he was moving, rolling. I was like, oh, he's gonna score. But just how he showed his speed and his versatility too, with blocking and receiving. We've seen it in the practice, but that game speed, he was moving. I'm curious to see what he did, what he had on the GPS and the miles per hour. So.
For him, just with being on the field with him, what was his reaction like?
Rohan's is a really fun, goofy person. So he was, we was all dancing, and just having fun. And on the sideline, he had, a great smile, and just a really, great energy. And he has a really great energy about him. That's, that affects, everyone on the offensive ball.
You had 5 more targets today to the tight ends. Was there more of an emphasis in the offensive game plan this week to target that group more?
It's just whatever the defense, is showing, and how we can take advantage of the certain looks that we get. And I'm glad that we could showcase the tight ends and what they do, because they have a really hard job. They have to run block, they have to pass block, and they got to receive. They got to do all those things, and that's what I have respect for them, because they're in the trenches and they still have to catch the football. Junior, he said he can catch the football too. And, no.
Junior, how much was it emphasized this week, the magnitude of this game, playing Arkansas State for the very first time, playing an in-state opponent?
Yeah, it was huge for the team. We realized this was going to be put in history books. And so I think we all kind of felt that coming into the game. And then, just arriving on the bus and just the line of people, Hawg fans, just waiting outside the fences, just waiting to see us. That kind of made everything so real. And so just kind of put everything into perspective of how awesome of an opportunity we had today. And feel like we truly seized the opportunity.
Great job, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.